There.
There it is.
There we go.
Okay, so The Prestige is a 2006 psychological thriller directed by Christopher Nolan, who also co-wrote it along with Jonathan Nolan. I'm not sure if that's probably a relative, but I don't know. It starred Hugh Jackman as Robert Angier and Christian Bale as Alfred Borden. And a little interesting thing I came across, if you arrange the letters of their names, Alfred Borden and Robert Angier, it spells abra, as in abracadabra.
No way.
So
Oh God, Sherlock Holmes is amongst us. Yeah.
I didn't find that myself. I just read it. But,
Oh,
Very cool.
so it also starred Michael Caine, Scarlett Johansson, Rebecca Hale, Andy Serkis, you know,
Who did he play?
and David Bowie played.
He was
I know. I
Tesla.
would
He
have
was
loved
Tesla's
this movie no matter
assistant.
what. If you put Bowie in it, I'm there.
Yeah, he was Tesla's assistant.
And in fact, I just saw he's headlining some new show coming out.
Really?
Who?
David
He's-
Bowie? He's
David
been
Bowie's
dead
dead.
forever.
Yeah,
No, Andy
that'll be a
Serkis.
good one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be really good.
Oh, but you know, if anybody could pull it off, Bowie could.
He could. He could. That's right.
So it made money. It grossed $109 million worldwide on a budget of $40 million. It had two Academy Award nominations for Best Art Direction and Best Cinematography, but I guess didn't win either one. Took place in 1890s England about two kind of not famous yet magicians who became bitter rich rivals and sabotaged each other's acts numerous times. And well, I think most of you probably saw the movie. It was the first time I'd seen it. Had anyone else seen it before?
Nope.
I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw it a long time ago. Yeah.
Well, I like movies that have twists and turns like that. So that's what I liked about it. And I also liked I always like contraptions, little mechanical deals. And there were quite a few of them in this movie with their magic tricks. I was going to pick a picture of the one where he had the thing on his back that made the cage kind of collapse like that really fast. But I picked that one anyway. This funeral scene behind me was kind of interesting. It's kind of claustrophobic. Maybe like being in one of those dunk tanks. I don't know. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's what I
I don't
picked.
remember this scene behind you.
It was when his wife died. She
wife died.
drowned in that.
When Sarah died.
Yeah, Sarah.
Yeah. She's in the coffin in the middle there.
Yeah.
Because
Like a mausoleum.
Alfred, the Borden guy, because there was two of them, he didn't know what kind of knot he tied because he wasn't the one who tied it apparently. So
yeah.
So I enjoyed it. You know, I thought it was worth 2 hours. So what did y'all think?
Trickery, I say. Full of it. The whole movie. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I had to read about it on Screen Rant to figure out a lot of what was actually going on. And they said it was obsession, jealousy, the dangers of chasing perfection, sacrifice, and how far do you take this? How far do you go? But clearly they were out to get each other one way or another. And boy, oh boy, oh boy. But I learned about magic, that it has 3 parts.
Right.
The pledge, the turn, and the prestige. That's the name. So I thought, oh, okay, that's really cool. So I asked my cousin's husband about it. I was telling Donna that he's the owner of the Chicago Magic Lounge and has been involved and interested in magic his whole life. So he just kind of sent me a little blushing face. That's part of the secret. But There were lots of surprises, and boy, a lot of them went right over my head. I should go back and watch it again and see
Yeah.
if I can pick up on some of those things that happened. But
I kind of, before the movie, I started reading about it on Wikipedia, and it kind of, there were some spoilers in there, but but it did help explain what was going on.
Oh, okay, you cheated then.
Yeah.
But okay, so Roger Ebert wrote about the ending. It fails when it cheats. What you will learn in the movie is, I believe, a disappointment, nothing but a trick about a trick. I thought, oh yeah, that sums it up really well. So
Mhm.
I was confused by all of the black hats at the beginning. And when Cutter says, "Are you watching closely?" And so I watched that a couple of times. What am I missing? What am I missing? Of course, you don't know until almost the end, what that's all about. But I thought it was great fun, great pick, Jeff. I enjoyed it a lot.
Good.
Yeah, I like this movie too a lot. It's got a lot of detail. I was like, even tonight, I was sitting there thinking, they both used the machine, but no, I mean that was his actual twin brother, or it was portrayed that way. He was his twin brother, and they were sharing a life. And I mean, I think even Michael Caine told him one time. He said, yeah, he goes, the double, that's his double, somebody that looks just like him. And he refused to believe that, So we kind of knew the answer to the transporter, if we would just listen. But yeah, there's a lot of detail in there. I just thought it was great, involving Tesla, making a science out of it and all that. That was a very interesting film.
Bill, I'm impressed that you have uplighting on you tonight, and it really fits into the scene behind you.
That's
Like
right.
he's in the field.
Yeah. Highly consistent. I was impressed by the role that the engineers, or whatever they called them, the guys who figured out the mechanics of the tricks, what a big role they played in that. And they also were kind of, the Christian Bale's brother was his engineer, but he was disguised as whatever his character's name was all the time.
Faldo or something
Fallon.
Fallon, right?
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, Fallon.
Yeah, I'd never heard of those guys before, that they even existed, people who invented the tricks and then sold them to magicians.
Oh, I think that's still going on.
Yeah, I just never had thought about it, but
Yeah.
You
makes
see,
sense.
somebody who got credit in the credits was David Copperfield. I mean, not for appearing, but for
Oh.
being an advisor.
Ah,
No, I didn't
pay
see that.
attention.
Good catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
I thought this movie, to me, it out-clevered itself. If I had to wait till the last 3 minutes to reboot everything that had happened, I just thought that's asking a little much of the audience. That's how I felt. I mean, it's slick and it's well done and it's got great casting. But I just think it outsmarted itself.
Did you not know what was going on till the end, or did you had you
Well,
figured it out?
I didn't the first time, and I was kind of hoping to pick up something this time, but it still eluded me. So
Yeah.
I was thinking, because when they were experimenting with the hats, that they duplicated the hats repeatedly.
Yeah.
That when he went into the box and it did his thing, that there would be two of him or more. So that would be another twist to this, or it'd be like a bunch of those of the Algiers guy that could just kind of fill in for each other. When one of them shot, the other one would show up, and
Yeah.
When they
but
did
that
the
didn't
hat,
happen.
that was because they'd done it a whole bunch of times over again. Remember that Andy
Yeah.
Serkis guy said, you know, we tried it a dozen times or something.
Yeah. So I thought maybe he would use that, and every time he did his trick, that there would be another one of them instead of just moving him from one place to another. But I guess they perfected the process, so they didn't keep duplicating them.
Well, I think it was just one per try for
And then they killed him.
Yeah, I don't think there
Killed
was
him every time. That was
there
the
was
dilemma.
dead people involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I don't think there were so much twins, because with twins you have two individuals who both have, you know, gravitas. You know, they are. With cloning, it's like you got the original, the one with gravitas, and then you got that exact duplicate, but that's not really
Quite the same.
same. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes it even
Right.
like kind of spookier.
If it was a science fiction movie, they'd be
Yeah.
degrading or something.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, they'd be slowing down. You know,
Right.
But what
Be
about the
missing ears or
transporter on Star
Mike
Trek?
Funny is
Right. Yeah.
not hearing him. He's talking. You're talking, Mike, but I'm not hearing you.
Oh,
There we go.
Yay, there you are.
The cloning at the end is
Yeah.
what really disappointed me. Up until that point, I thought this was a really slick movie with lots of different interesting moving parts, and then the cloning seemed the cloning was a cheap cop out for me on this, and it just seemed like they, you know, as intricate as everything else was in this, I expected something better, and was disappointed in that. And then actually, before we started here, Chris and Donna and I were on early, and I said, "Man, did I miss something? Where did this cloning come from out of the blue?" And both these guys, I think, were caught flat-footed by it as well. So I thought it was a really good movie all the way along until the very end. And kind of like what Matson said is, you know, he was too
Well,
smart.
I thought that was supposed to be like the sort of the symbolism for the, you know, Tesla Edison, you know, the scientific piece. So it's like, it's not just trickery. It's not just like really fancy equipment that we can, you know, get out of behind the curtain or whatever. There's the science part too. So, but it was clumsy. I'll admit that. But it's also 2006, you know. So
it's also 1899. So
well, yeah, right. Yeah, right. But I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I didn't see Clutter designing that, and I get that Tesla did it,
yeah,
but where was Clutter when all that? And then he tried to explain to him
yeah.
what was going on, why there's all the hats, and so I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, at the end, the hats make a lot more sense.
Yeah, no, yeah, they do. A bunch of little dollies, sheep running around.
Yeah.
The part that I missed is, I mean, I understand the Hugh Jackman character wanting revenge, but I never understood the motivation if the Christian Bale's character did sabotage the trick. What drove him? I mean, that to me, that I kept waiting for some revelation that never came. And I mean, I can't imagine that you would kill somebody's wife just because you had a professional rivalry with them. And he never confessed that he did or didn't. And so to me, it lost traction from the very beginning.
yeah,
Well, he didn't confess, and he wasn't contrite. He just said,
I don't know.
I don't know what knot I used."
Right.
Yeah.
But
Well,
he
it's
never
'cause
said, "I'm sorry."
right.
Never heard him say that.
I think it was his brother who tied the knot
Yeah,
and was told,
That's
you know,
why he
to
didn't
tie
know.
this specific type
Oh,
of knot.
that's
and
why he didn't know.
yeah,
He
Yeah,
didn't know
yeah,
he didn't
yeah,
do it.
yeah.
So, I mean,
his
Yeah.
twin did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I think
outsmarted me again.
yeah, I think Gary's right though,
How you like it?
that those not the knot, remember the one Bowden said that you have to keep trying different things. You have to keep doing different things in order to, keep the process going. And he wanted that one sailor's knot, and Cutter was saying, no, that's not going to work. And he's saying, yes, we got to try it, and blah, blah, blah. It was that urge to keep trying something new. That was the sense I got, is that he wanted to keep trying something new and different to see if it worked. But unfortunately, it didn't. Obviously, it didn't work.
Called
No, but
practice.
the
You
point
don't
Jeff
have to
makes
do it on
is
a live body.
Yeah,
the point Jeff
exactly.
Arthur makes is that the brother may have tied it, and the other brother may have
Exactly.
honestly said, "I don't know."
I don't, and they both
couldn't-
didn't know because they
I
don't
didn't
know.
connect
Yeah,
those dots because those dots were so far apart. One occurred in the first 10 minutes, and the other one 2 hours later. And
Yeah,
until just now,
exactly.
I'm not that smart. I couldn't connect the dots.
Well, I thought the ending too was kind of it was too, I don't know. There was something about it that bothered me, and I don't know whether it was that the denouement, which that would be, came too far, too close to the end or something. It was like, oh, please, really? He all the time has been Lord Cutlow or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was something, and I really liked it. I can't say I didn't like it. I love the twists and turns, but when the twists and turns become so many twists and turns that you get confused in the middle of the twists and turns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that was a class thing, though. He was like the aristocrat that was slumming.
right.
Says the Christian Bale's character, who was like the working class guy, who's like, this is how I'm making,
Right.
this is who I am. So I think that thing that I had read about, I had seen the movie when it first came out and was like, mind boggled. I know that I had seen it since, because it was like having read some things, and so I'm looking for stuff, I found it. So, but that was still a long time ago too. It's like when we first got HBO or something. No, I guess it wouldn't be first got, but at some point we got some free, I don't know, something. Anyway, so I saw it again, but it's been many years, and this the third time. But what I had most recently read that made me like kind of, it clicked better for me, was it's all about misdirection. And that, of course, that's right. That's what it's all about. You're looking there while this is going on over here, or, you're seeing this while in fact, this mirror is making it look, that kind of a thing.
Right.
Yeah, but that all occurs in the normal course of a trick.
Right.
Inside of and it's like Gary described. 10 minutes in, 2 hours and 10 minutes later, it's
yeah.
good.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's exactly it.
Don't get me wrong. It had its flaws. Like I said, some of the stuff was a little heavy-handed. The other thing I read was they said, Scarlett Johansson, that they made her costumes a size too small.
Oh, please.
Just
they
one?
Did, yeah.
Could pop out.
All of them. All of the costumes.
No, I just mean one size.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Two sizes.
Maybe you may have that right. But anyway, yeah. And so then I didn't see that till after I'd watched it again. I'm like, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, I can see that.
You don't think they had the budget to make them right size?
Yeah. No.
Right. That extra inch of fabric, that's a couple grand.
I don't think
I just kept thinking about Colin Jost.
Yeah.
I know. What about that guy? I'm like, really? Him? But,
well, I don't think that Christopher Nolan cares too much about women characters, at least in that movie. I mean, that's kind of, they're pretty pretty one-dimensional, at least I thought. Pretty one-dimensional, maybe two-dimensional, but they certainly didn't have any kind of depth like the guys did. I mean, you could really figure out, you kept on looking at these characters, and there would be three of them, the two twins and Angiers.
Yeah, right.
And you have to look at all of those characters and the depth of their, I don't know, how much they cared about what they were doing. And so it was, to me, it was like, the women were kind of just like,
Well, like they are in a magic show, you know, they're just,
yeah, exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah, that's how it was. But anyway, that helped me know, you know, knowing that something like look elsewhere when something is happening in this scene. 'Cause there's some
Exactly.
direction going on. I didn't always catch it, but it made it fun
Well,
to
you
watch.
know, Karen, I was telling Chris, and Chris, who has a relative that's in Chicago, I absolutely love close-up magic because I am looking at it and, you know, like within a foot away, and I still don't get it, and it just blows me away. I love it.
Well,
I
that's
absolutely
because
love
they're
it.
good. It does. I think
Yeah.
it's not necessarily a reflection on any of us when we're like, I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know. What
I'm really
happened?
fooled
How'd
by
you
that.
do
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
No, that's because they're good. You know?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because they're good. But the other thing that I wanted to say about this movie, they say that this is Nolan's best, but I disagree.
I do too.
Memento is the is
I
his.
love Memento.
It came
And
before
Tenet.
this.
Tenet is pretty
No,
good too.
No, Memento is such a. I give students extra credit in the memory section of my intro to psych class if they'll watch the movie, and they always come, wow, Professor
Oh,
Wallace,
good.
what a movie.
Memento came before this.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think a lot. I don't
But
think.
I think it was like his second film, wasn't it, Karen? I think. I want to say his second film.
I have no idea.
It's one of my 5 or 6 favorite of all time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Absolutely.
you know, The Prestige was good and it was beautiful. You know, The Prestige.
Yeah.
All the dressing, you know, the stage dressing and the costuming and, you know, all of that stuff was incredible. I think that's all they got nominated for, right, Jeff? Was like cinematography,
Art direction and
art direction. Yeah.
cinematography.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see that, but it didn't have it didn't speak to me the way Memento does. I love that movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The whole Victorian
But this-
thing kind of lends itself to that sort of glamorous presence.
Yes. I agree.
Mhm. Mhm.
But
Chris-
the character who played Borden's wife, you know, I thought she was interesting. I mean, I don't know why she killed herself, but you know how she kept saying that this time you mean it, that when you say you love
Well,
me,
that's
but
because
you usually
he's
don't.
talking to the
Yeah, because there's two of them.
twin, and then she's talking to her husband,
Of
and
course,
then
she never
talking
knew
to the
that till the
twin.
end.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah.
can you imagine? Can you imagine, like, this guy? I know this guy. I don't know this guy. I know this guy. You know, yeah, I'd probably
Yeah.
throw in the towel too. You know.
Memento was released in 2000.
Oh wow, it was a lot before this movie then.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, it was really one of his early ones. I know that, and it was so good. Oh God, so good.
So Chris, I want to know more about the Magic Lounge.
Oh, in
Yeah.
Chicago? Okay.
Yeah.
It's all, the address is 5050 Clark Street. And when you first go into the building, it looks like you're in a laundromat. And you have to figure out which set of machines is the door to get into the venue.
Wow.
And it used to
Love
be a laundromat originally when they bought the building and gutted it and rebuilt it. But it's all close-up table magic at first. But they will have an act on stage. It's not David Copperfield or anything like that. It's much, you know, smaller scale, but still this wonderful magicians, men and women alike. Good food. They have small plate food that's excellent cocktails. I think you have to get your tickets in advance when you go because they have many shows that sell out.
How many seats?
Oh, I would have to guess maybe 100. I'm not sure.
It says online that it's got 3 environments featuring magicians and cocktails plus pre-show small plates.
Huh. Oh, I don't know.
What's a small plate meal? I haven't heard that term before.
It's like an
Like a
appetizer.
tapas?
Or tapas, yeah.
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 Has anybody been to the whatever the name of the magic house is in LA? There's a famous magic theater there where it's almost like invitation only, and that's where magicians go and work out their next best act. It's got maybe the Magic House. Nobody's heard of that.
I've only been to LA once though, so yeah.
Gary, 107 seats in the Magic Lounge.
Hey, good
Hey,
guess.
good,
Wow.
good, Chris. Very good.
Damn, the
Yes.
Family Feud. Good answer. Good answer.
When we lived in Atlanta, there was a magician comedian there who went by the name of Tom Mullica was his name. And if you Google Tom Mullica, I mean, he will show up. Other magicians revered him because he had a couple tricks that nobody could figure out or that were cutting edge enough that people, respected. One of them, he would light like 50 cigarettes and then swallow them.
Oh,
And
God.
he got to the point where the insurance companies wouldn't insure him anymore because of the trick. But
Kill him.
he had
Yeah, well, hell.
he had a bar in Atlanta, and there was like 12 seats at the bar, and then up behind that, like maybe 2 rows of seats in a little bleacher, and then you could stand in front of the bleacher. So maybe 50 people at most. And if you got the seats right next to his little pad where he did that, people would reserve those for birthdays and anniversaries. And anytime we had anybody in town, we would take them there. We went so often, we knew which acts and tricks he was going to perform on Friday night, and we knew which acts he was going to perform on Saturday night.
Ooh, wow. That's
So I mean, we went often enough that when we would take people and Joan would start laughing, he would stop and go, "She's back." He knew her laugh. And
love that story.
And then fast forward 25 years, he ends up in Branson as a Red Skelton tribute show. He had a lot of the mannerisms of Red Skelton. He really idolized Red Skelton. And then moved here, and we got reacquainted with him, and he was like, "I remember you, and I remember your wife's laugh." Yeah. Unfortunately, he went in for some minor, I don't know, some minor surgery and died on the operating table. But he's got videos. If you go to Tom Mullica and look up YouTube, the cigarette trick or the apple trick, I mean, it's like the kind of stuff you're talking about, Chris. I mean, it's very entertaining. And even though we would see the trick over and over again, it took me a long time to figure out how he could swallow 50 cigarettes.
Yeah.
I love magic, especially close-up magic. And he had the corniest humor. I mean, he would do this thing where, he'd make a card disappear and he would say, "It's here and it's here. And if you'll raise your right cheek," and people would go and he goes, "But it didn't stop there." He had a good time with the audience.
Yeah.
So I'm predisposed to magic and things.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
I guess for me, there were so many layers and so many revelations. I lost track.
Yes.
Became numb to them. It was like, finish the trick. Finish the trick.
Yeah. Yeah. The prestige at the very end of the movie was so far away that it just didn't click with me at the end. And I liked the movie. I can't say, but it was like, oh, so the prestige is that he was Lord, what's his name all along. Oh, really? It just didn't connect with me because it was so far away and so, I don't know.
Well, I guess the part that I found unbelievable, like I said in the beginning, I didn't, connect the fact that it was a brother. One brother may have tied the knot and the other brother may have been confessing. I don't know how I tied the knot.
Yeah.
And then at the other end of the movie, to go to the extreme of cutting your fingers off.
Yes.
To pull off a trick.
Match.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Just so you could.
I didn't need that scene.
Yeah, that was kind of.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going above and beyond.
I've worked really hard to get some jobs, but not that hard.
Yeah, exactly.
I was waiting to see if there's going to be a connection with the red rubber ball, that it kept showing up in different scenes, and I don't know if there's a connection to it or not. I haven't read anything that tied them together, but I wondered, was that the one brother and not the other or something? You know, maybe that was the distinction between it. I don't know.
It's in there often enough. It's got to mean something.
Yeah.
Jeff Arthur,
We'll have to Google it.
you said you had not seen it, but picked it. Why?
Because it was, I always look on these, there's so many of these lists of movies for one characteristic or another. And this was like a list of a bunch of movies that had lots of plot twists in them, which I liked. So, and I'd seen several of the other ones that were on the list, and I hadn't seen this one. So
The Oscar for most plot twists goes to.
Yeah.
I just looked up whether Tesla had made a clone or a cloning machine, and he had not.
No,
Yeah.
no, I looked that up too, Mike. Yeah.
I don't know. There's thousands of cars that look exactly the same on the road. So.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Nicely done.
And they're all gray. Yeah. No, it's
I've
true.
been,
No, I looked it up too.
I've-
And he was there in Colorado Springs, and he, what I wanted to know, and I didn't find out, was did he really electrify the entire town? Remember when they said,
Yeah, I didn't look that up either.
yeah, I looked it up, but it never told me.
Oh.
Told
Well,
me he was
he said that
there
when
and
first
that he
got
was
out of the
running
carriage.
experiments and all that.
When Angier first got out of the carriage, and he said, wow, he electrified the whole
Whole
town.
town, yeah.
And I didn't know whether that was abnormal or normal. I wasn't up on my 1890s electrification.
Yeah, well,
I think, was he involved in electrifying the World's Fair? And that's kind of how the AC current got approved
I don't
But
know.
it-
versus
but
was,
Edison, I think, is the one that did so the fair in Chicago was 1893.
yeah.
And I think that it was Edison, though. I don't think it was Tesla. I think it was Edison.
Edison wanted direct current though. And
Right.
I think, and Tesla
And
wanted
Tesla wanted
alternating current.
alternating current, right.
So I
and-
think Tesla,
Which
won
is what
that.
we use.
Yeah,
No,
I
we
have to
don't,
look again.
no, we use direct current. We don't use
No.
AC.
Only if you plugged into 220.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
It's
Your
much
wall socket
easier.
is
Only
AC.
use some batteries. Batteries are DC.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
batteries are, but I
But
mean,
transmission is a lot easier with AC, I think.
exactly it is, but because Edison was so anti-Tesla, and he's the one that, as I understand it, and wasn't there a movie about that?
Yeah, I think there was.
I think so
Yeah,
too.
and
Yeah, there. Yeah.
yeah, I can't remember, but it was the Tesla trying to get his system, which is the better system, but Edison had more money to kind of get his system through. What was it? I can't remember. It'll come to me at some, in 2 days.
By the
Doesn't he
way,
have a winter house in Sarasota?
Edison,
Edison?
Thought it
Well,
was
it's
at Fort
it's in
Myers.
Fort Myers, yes,
Myers,
Fort Myers.
Yeah.
yes.
AC/DC is going on tour starting in
I know
April.
that. I was gonna use that joke, Gary. I was just waiting.
He's here all week.
ACDC!
Yeah, that's right.
First,
Yeah.
first time in 9 years, they're back on the road.
Oh my
That's right.
God, I know.
Well, it
Nicely
says
done.
there's a movie called The Current War in
That might be it.
2017
Yeah, that might be it.
I don't
about
know.
the rivalry between Edison and Tesla
Yeah.
Ah,
and
Well, I
George
drive-
Westinghouse.
Yes, yes, and Westinghouse too, yes.
okay.
I drive a
I looked
Tesla
up-
and I'm getting messages offering me a bumper sticker that says, I bought my Tesla before Elon Musk lost his shit.
I've seen those, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen those stickers.
Oh, I love it. Oh my God, that's great.
But I'm with Karen. I was like, oh, David Bowie.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
Labyrinth. You've seen Labyrinth, right?
But,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
Joan,
love
I looked, I
David.
said to Joan, is that David Bowie? She goes, oh, I don't think so. And we spent the rest of the movie thinking, oh, I don't think so. Then
Oh,
until I
yeah.
looked it up today, I wasn't sure it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought.
Are David Bowie and Christopher Walken the same?
When he first came on the scene, I went, this guy kind of looks like David Bowie.
Yeah.
And then opened up the sidebars and went, oh, okay, yeah, it is.
It is. Oh, yeah. Yeah. As soon as
Yeah.
I saw him, I said, yeah, that's David.
There he is.
Online, it said that Christopher Nolan flew there to convince him to take
Yeah.
the part.
Yeah.
Well, if
let's
anyone
ask
can
Jeff
play
Arthur.
Tesla.
Let's ask Jeff Arthur if he even knows who David Bowie was.
Oh,
Yes,
please,
I do,
don't
yeah.
make us feel bad.
Yeah.
When
mean,
Bowie was a
Nolan was
thing,
in
what were you,
movies.
third grade, fifth grade?
Ziggy
I think I was in high
I
school.
I saw him on the Ziggy Stardust tour in St. Louis in 72 or 3.
Wow.
I know. My
Wow.
daughter's friends like, oh, you got the best mom. She saw Bowie.
Yeah.
Well, why
Love
why
Bowie.
wasn't he at Mizzou?
We tried. We were lucky to get what we got. We got some decent acts, but yeah, I tried to get the Grateful Dead. I could not get them. I know that they tried for Bowie. I know they tried for the Eagles at one point because I still had a couple of friends even after I left. It just got harder and harder at
You did a
colleges.
great job. You did a
Yeah,
great job.
but yeah, well, you know, there are good ones and there were some like just meh ones, but that's okay. But yeah, David Bowie. He's in.
Was it a good show?
Got me. Oh my God, yes. He was Ziggy Stardust. He was like,
Right.
all latex, and he was what, a 26 maybe, and skinny English guy. He was amazing. You know, the music was just amazing, and you know, Kiel isn't known for its sound, but they didn't sell out the place, so we all had pretty decent seats, and it was great. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
I did not go to that one with Bob, so we didn't talk about that one.
Oops.
But well, to stay on the sidetrack, when you said some of them were meh, of the concerts that Jeff and Mattson and Mahoney and I saw, which did you think were the best you put on, and which were the meh?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Well, for our committee, Jeff knows just as much as I do.
Were you on the committee, Jeff?
Yeah.
I was a silent partner.
You must have been. I've never heard you talk about it.
I haven't either. So I remember Leo Kottke, the
That
Dirt
was the bigger
Band.
committee. They had more money than us. Yeah, we brought in jazz acts. We got that one really old blues guy.
They're old.
Well, no, he was really old in like 73, 74. Anyway,
Piano? Was he piano?
no, he was a old.
So you didn't do the Cow Palace shows?
We did, I think we had one there. I can't remember. We mostly did Jesse Hall. We were,
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the ones at the livestock.
Yeah, and I had friends on that committee because we all shared the same offices, and I got to go to those shows and actually get tickets for people.
Wasn't there a Jimmy Spheris? Was that an act? Was that a Jesse Hall act?
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, okay.
Linda Ronstadt.
And Jackson Brown.
Jackson Brown.
Yeah, that was in the old
Todd Rundgren.
Agricultural. Yeah.
Steve Goodman came.
John Living. What was John? Who wrote "Gentle on My Mind"? What's that?
John Hartford. Yes, John Hartford was there. Yes.
Yeah.
You're right. I saw that show. I didn't book that show. I booked Count Basie and I booked Ravi Shankar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. And he, tiniest little Indian man, really talented, really the biggest flirt you would ever want to run into. Every girl on that was either working there or on the computer that had any, there he was. And so, later on you find out that Nora Jones is Ravi Shankar's daughter, not Ravi Shankar's wife's daughter. And so I would make the joke that, if I just played my cards right, I could have been Nora Jones.
Hell, yeah.
But I didn't. But he was really great. He put on a great show though.
Anyway, back to AC/DC, or was it David Bowie? Sorry, Jeff, we hijacked your
No,
movie.
that's fine.
Yeah.
David Bowie was in 37 films, or he's credited.
No, he's been in a lot.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of
Wow.
movies.
By the way, I did see AC/DC in concert.
Yeah.
Wow. Alert the
Right.
media. Oh my God.
How was that?
It was loud.
I bet.
It was loud.
It was the one that tour that they had with the,
That
I
is a
don't
good
remember what it's
callback
called,
joke
it had
right there.
the cannon.
They had a cannon?
Yeah. It had some song that had cannons in it.
That's the 1812 overture. That's not easy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was the encore.
They have a big bell for Hell's Bells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were loud. The Who were loud. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe I can still hear anything after
Yeah.
I've
Where'd you
seen
see
The
that?
Who
Where'd you
so
see
many
that?
times. We saw them probably 5 or 6 times.
Oh,
The
wow.
loudest band I
They were
ever heard was
Keel?
Zeppelin.
Keel, the arena once.
Yeah.
SIU, oh, Edwardsville. That was the, yeah. The
Mahoney
entire-
and I think it was Mahoney and I saw the Who, and the warm-up act was a little band called Leonard Skinnerd.
Yep.
And the first 30 minutes of their warm-up act was just our warm-up act, and then they did this last song and blew the room away. And we looked at each other and go, I'm not sure the Who can top that, you know.
Yeah, and
And-
the Who didn't come out for quite a while. They let the room chill a bit.
Yeah.
The loudest band I ever heard was Zeppelin in the arena, and I was way in the back. I don't know how the people in the front still have brain matter.
much less hearing.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Karen, did you hear the Wall of Sound ever with the Dead?
I did. We figured it out because I was like, they didn't take it everywhere, but I've subsequently forgotten. Bob figured it out that we did see it once because we didn't go everywhere, but we went. Oh, Indiana, no, not Indiana, Iowa, Illinois, lots of Illinois, Missouri, Tennessee.
Was it super clear or just loud?
Oh, Jeff, I remember.
Sorry.
You didn't go for the acoustics?
My level of, despite the years that have passed, we also have to take into account my level of sobriety.
Okay. Fair enough.
But yeah, I'm sure it was all of that. I'm sure.
I've been fascinated by that whole business that Owsley helped design it.
Yeah.
They used to have.
Yeah, I forget. No, was it in Kansas City? It might have been with Sanders, someplace that Sanders was or I don't know. But I don't think it was in Kansas City, but we figured it out. But yeah, we did see it. Yeah.
The Dead played a lot of shed shows here in Kansas City.
Oh yeah, really? Yeah. All right. They played the Armory once in St. Louis, way long.
Well, they played the Ranch. What's his name?
Outside of St. Louis that Chuck Berry owned.
Chuck Berry, yeah.
Yeah, Chuck Berry's place.
Oh,
yeah. All right. Did they? All right. So there's certain things that I don't even know. But they played the junior college. They played what's right now down the street from me, Merrimack Community College. I think that was in like 68. I didn't see him. I didn't see him until 72.
Donna, when did you first see the Dead?
I've never seen the Dead. Never.
Harry, don't be me. Oh, tease.
That's
She
right.
would have. I'm
Mea
just saying she
culpa,
just-
mea culpa, mea maxima culpa.
I never saw him.
Seen him. I've never
Yeah.
seen him.
I've never seen him.
I saw him once. That was it.
But even if they added all of them up and then divided by how many of us there are, everybody would have seen him in like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
I saw Jefferson
Oh, yeah.
Airplane 3
See,
times.
that's why you
I'll
have to
never
be
forget
careful of
that.
statistics.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
That's
Are
right.
those dead creds or?
Yeah. I do. I have some of my ticket stubs. I don't have all of them, but I have some. I can prove it. I was in Chicago, man. Look.
All right, Barnhart, are you next? Are you even here? Are we even doing next?
What is
Our next is January 6th.
Oh, wow.
That's
Yeah.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, I will be here to review it. And
You'll
then
be in Thailand, right?
No,
Yep.
I don't leave till the 13th.
Oh, okay.
January 6th, you'll still be here.
So what's your
And that's
correct.
when you'll review it.
So
So
you're
he'll pick
picking,
it
Bill?
tonight.
So
Pick
I'm picking it tonight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it time for me to pick?
Yeah.
It is time for you to
Sure.
pick it tonight, Bill.
Pick it tonight. Okay. The movie I've got is a movie called The Game.
The what?
The Game. It's a 1997 film with Mike Douglas.
Oh, The Game, yeah.
It's a movie that I saw at the theater, and I left and I was going, that was pretty good film. But I think now that all these years have passed, it'll be good to pick it apart, because I didn't ever get to review it like we review the movies now. So anyway, it was a good mystery movie. It made about the same amount of money as this film that we looked at tonight. It's directed by David Fincher. It's got Michael Douglas, Sean Penn. Anyway, I really liked it. It was a mystery, and I hope we like it again.
That's
Good.
good. Yeah.
Sounds
You say it
good.
was 1997?
1997, yeah.
Sounds familiar.
Remember it.
Sean
offhand.
Penn,
It's on
I might have
Prime,
seen that.
Was
one of
it
the
based on the book or the short story?
I wouldn't.
No,
I wouldn't be
I
able
think
to
you're
tell you.
thinking The Dangerous Game. No,
No.
no,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at it on Wikipedia. They don't say anything about that.
no.
Okay.
It's not the same story at all.
All right.
Okay.
It's well received by Roger Ebert, all that. Fincher did some pretty good films.
Bill, did you read The Prestige?
Did I read it?
Book? Yeah,
No.
I know you read a lot of stuff.
Is it? Was it a book? It was a book.
Yeah, I actually happened onto the discussion of the book on Wikipedia. I think it went a little differently than the movie, but
Yeah.
it is about, two competing magicians, and a lot of the stuff sounds consistent, but I think some of it's different. It was highly regarded, I think, when it was published.
Was it called The Prestige, the book itself?
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably wouldn't be too bad of a book, I guess.
Well, we got 3 weeks. Has anybody seen anything they would recommend in the interim?
Well, I saw
I've been
Wicked.
doing stuff. Yeah.
I watched The Gentleman on Netflix. It's a series, and this is the first season, and I found it very intriguing.
The
It's about-
Gentleman.
I'm 5
The
episodes into
Gentleman, yeah, it's
I'm
very
5
good.
episodes into 100 Years of Solitude. And
That'll be interesting. What's that on, Gary?
it's Netflix.
It
I
is.
don't- I don't think Netflix produced it, because I think it's in Spanish, and I've got English overdubs. Plus I do the closed captioning too, because I don't want to miss anything. But it's an amazingly beautiful. I mean,
Yes.
it's a 3-4
Amazing book.
generation long tale. Yeah.
Right.
What's it called again?
The
100
100
Years
Years
of
of Solitude. And that is based on a book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gabriel Garcia Marquez.
Right. It's
that
been, yeah,
Cortez Marquez. I'm sorry. I'm one of
something
read
like
the
that.
book.
three
yeah.
namer. Yeah.
Well, I have one. I don't know if I can recommend it. So it'll be interesting to see if you guys watch it. It's called One Good Deed. And it's with these wonderful comedic actors. Oh God, what's her Ray Romano, and the blonde that was in Friends. What's her name?
Jennifer Aniston.
No, the
No.
other
No,
one.
the other one.
Phoebe.
Lisa
Wait,
Oh,
Kudrow.
Lisa Kudrow.
Lisa, yeah. She's in it. She plays Ray's wife. So there's a bunch of comedic actors, but it's not a comedy. Well, it's kind of a black comedy, sort of. And I'm sometimes I think it's really funny. Sometimes I was laughing out loud, but the premise is not funny. And I don't know. I'm just
Is it
I'm a
that they're
little
selling their
confused.
house? Is that they're selling their house and the people
They're
that
selling their house, but
Yeah.
their
Looking at it,
son was murdered in the house.
yeah, but
And so it's got this underlying story of a grieving parents.
it's getting good
And
reviews. A lot of people like it.
yeah, I know.
Good reviews.
I can't say there are some parts I really like and they're really funny, and then some parts I'm like, and it's shot in that, I don't know how to it's not like a movie. It's shot.
That single camera thing.
I don't know if
Looks
it's
like it's
single
shot on a
camera,
phone.
but it feels, yeah, it feels like it's shot on an iPhone.
Mm.
It feels different. And I don't know, again, I don't know why. It's just I have this, I'm back and forth. Sometimes I think it's really funny, and sometimes I think this isn't funny, and I don't
Yeah.
know. But
So
it'd be
you mean,
interesting
you
to see
mean-
what you guys think.
You mean dark comedy, not black comedy, right? Yes.
Well,
Neither one of them are
excuse
black.
me, excuse-moi, s'il vous plaît. Yeah, I didn't, well, I mean by dark comedy, what we used to call black comedy, and now it's dark comedy, I guess. As long as I don't call it darky comedy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No,
not good.
All right, we're
really.
done. Stop recording.
Yeah, really. Yeah, stop it.
Well, I watched three, and I would not there was one called Carry On, which I would not recommend.
Okay.
There's the Maria Callas story, which was in my view, a waste of time. And then a third one is called It Ends With Us, which is it's got some weight to it.
Yeah.
But you don't recommend it.
Yeah, of the three, that's the one I would, if you're going to spend any time with Netflix, that's the one. But the 100 Years of Solitude is the one I would recommend. But it's an 8-part series, so
Yeah.
that will take you a couple weeks.
Yeah. I finished The Day of the Jackal, and I liked it, especially Eddie Redmayne is such an amazing actor that, yeah.
It was good, huh?
Pardon me?
It was good, huh? It was good.
Oh yeah. It's very good. And Black Doves is another one I thought was good too. If you like that kind of, political thriller kind of thing.
Okay.
I've been watching.
Aaron, you're shaking your head. What are you shaking your head
No,
about?
because I haven't really been watching anything. I've been doing stuff, but not.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have nothing to contribute. So I'm just like, oh my God. Yeah.
You have a
I
life,
know.
huh?
I've been watching some of the stuff that you guys have all been talking about. I saw Carry On. I agree with Gary. I mean, it wasn't great. If you kind of like the Die Hard movies, you might like it, But and then so then I also kind of started watching Mary. It's on Netflix, about the life of Mary.
Oh, Mary as
Mary of Jerusalem.
the mother. Okay.
His mom. And anyway, it's okay. I mean, if you want to kind of delve into the the history of the Bible and what it might have been like for her, it's interesting.
One thing I did, Conclave was, you could rent it for $20, which I did not do but I wanted to see it. And now it's free on Prime, I think. It's free on one of them. And that was really good. So if it's free now, I wasn't willing to spend $20, but certainly seeing it now is good and interesting,
Very
especially
good.
being raised Catholic. Oh, one more for our Irish friends. There's one called Say Nothing, and it is about the IRA. Jerry, what's his name?
Adams.
Thank you, Jerry Adams. And it very interesting. I would recommend that, especially if you're not familiar with the troubles with what's happened in Ireland at that time. And this is it's really good. It's all based on a true story. However, I'd say I don't know, every third episode, it's probably got 6 or 7 episodes. It will have a disclaimer that Jerry Adams had nothing to do with the IRA and had nothing to do,
Right.
yeah, all that stuff. So but it's really interesting, and I thought it was really good.
What's it called again?
Say Nothing.
Mahoney, do you still do the auto draft to the IRA out of your paycheck?
Well, what I was going to say was the mail certainly didn't suggest that he was unaffiliated with the Irish Republic.
Right, I know. Well, you know, he got into
Nation
politics.
once again.
There you go. Thank you,
Nation
everybody, all at once.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What's that on?
I think it's Prime, but I might be wrong. You know, it's Prime, Netflix, Apple or Hulu. I don't know.
Is that like a
There's
four-part?
one of those.
Yeah,
I don't
one
know.
of those.
Keep looking.
Yeah, you'll
Don,
find it.
Is that like a series, a 4-part?
Yeah, yeah, it's a series. It's probably 4, 6 parts, something like that.
Yeah, I remember. Has anybody been watching Bad Sisters?
Yes, of course. Is that the best or what?
I
love
haven't
Bad
watched
Sister.
season 2. Are you watching season 2?
Yes, very good. You know, they're just, well, you know, when you're Irish, it connects so much, so it's interesting. Yeah,
Is that on Netflix or something else?
I think
Apple,
it's
isn't
Bill, you might know better than me.
I think it's
You know,
on
I can't keep track of them.
I think it's on Apple,
should.
but I'm not sure.
Oh, it might be. No, I don't think so. I don't get Apple anymore.
Okay.
Mm.
All right,
Anyway.
I'm going to be late for dinner.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
See you.
All right.
3
Wish
weeks.
you all
Yeah.
happy-
Holidays,
Merry
everybody.
Christmas, Happy New
Merry
Year.
Christmas.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. See you
you.
next
See you next
year.
year.
See you
Guys,
next year.
good pick, Ted, good pick.
Woo!
Yeah.
See you
Have a good
guys.
trip, Chris.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, all.
Have a good